Hello, guys and girls. Jokester here, bringing you another episode of FTB Unstable. We are up to episode 49 already. We are getting to that, close to that magical 50 mark. Don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be epic. Okay, so we have created a Nanobot Tier 4. Nanobot Controller Tier 4. So I'm going to put that right up here, if I can reach it. Yes, shift it. There we go. And let's start building this guy. Now, as of right now, I don't have my angel ring, so I can't fly. But that's okay, because we can reach this from the underside. So let's let this guy all build out. Now it needs 80 structure blocks, as you can see right there, 60 machine base, and 16 different modifiers. And so we are complete. Got a little room in here. It's my secret hidden room. Let's get outside, take a look at it. All right, looks good. Can we fly? Yes, we sure can. And let's take a look at the effects we have. What did I pick? Jump Boost 3. Check this out. Whoom. I could jump all the way to the top of that. Look how high I can jump with Jump Boost 3. I love it. That is so fun. Speed 2. I'm okay with just a Speed 2. Strength 3, absolutely. Want to swing harder, hit harder, do more damage. Resistance 3, oh my gosh. Coupled with this armor, yeah, nobody's going to even put a dent in me. Regen 2, which is, I believe, the best we can do without the environmental controller. And then a Haste 2, which I, of course, get from my Tainted Blood pendant. So really cool, really cool. If we come over here, now it stacks on here, and now I have a Haste 3, Saturation 3, Regen 3, Resistance 3, Strength 3, and Jump Boost 3. Oh, and Speed 3. I mean, wow. Totally awesome. And this works interdimensionally. Let's go check this out. Oops. So fast, so fast. And wait for the nether to load up in here. And let's just see. Can't really tell unless we look at one of the bottom ones. But remember, this saturation is one of them that's stacked. So let's just see when this wears out if we're going to lose. There we go. Now we can get the right stuff. All right, everything came back, and our Haste 2, of course, comes from here. So our regen, everything is now coming. This is coming from the Nanobot Controller, and of course it stacks, and you saw it just refresh there. So all good, goes interdimensionally, really cool. Let's head on back and work on another project. So let's go here. Okay, let me throw this away because we're not going to need this again. So very happy I got that. Took a lot of nether stars, but remember, we have the ability to do doubling of nether stars. So we've got plenty of those, not a problem. Otherwise, the rest of it was all just pretty straightforward. Okay, so many of you have already tried out Deep Resonance. Deep Resonance is a mod that generates RF, primarily generates it from this generator with the use of crystals. Now we have several crystals we found in the world, and as you can see, the power here is varying on all the different crystals, but the big thing is in the line in the green says strength, efficiency, and purity. You can see they're all pretty miserable stats. There's nothing special here, and these are the ones that are found in the world. So we're not going to want to use these to actually generate power, but there is some other uses for them. But what I'm going to do first is we're going to set up a system to actually make the crystals, right? So make some pretty decent crystals to start out with, and then we're going to beef them up to be even better. So first thing we're going to need is a smelter, but we're going to need these resonating plates. Now the resonating plates, there we go. Hello, can I get a recipe for it? Oh yeah, we smelt those. Yep. Okay, so let's grab, you know what? I'll grab, yeah, let's just do that. That's good enough. Stack and a half is plenty good. We have enough of that, so we'll let those guys cook up, and that'll start showing up in here. And so now we can go back to the smelter. We're going to need several of these machine frames. Polished andesite, I still have a bunch. I don't remember how many I'm going to need, so we'll just make a bunch. And nether brick, we have some of those. I believe, I know we have, I don't know if they're in a compact drawer or not, but just thinking ahead if we need any others. All right, so we're going to need a smelter. We're going to need some of these tanks. Now, I've been playing around, and you've seen many people use, 2, 3, 5, 7 tanks, in a row all over. I like compact builds. I'm going to attempt to do this with just a measly 3. That's it. So all I'm going to use is 3 of these tanks. And of course, we're going to need a purifier. So I'm going to make some of this filter material. Now we're going to need a bunch of this. So let's go ahead and grab a stack here and another stack, yeah, just for the future. And then we're going to need a few of these for crafting. And then, okay, so let's create a purifier. We have those machine frames. That's why I made several of them. So we're going to need a purifier. And then we're also going to need, so we got the smelter, we got the purifier, we got the tank. We're going to need a few other things, and let's let this build out on its own, all right? Because there's several stages to this, and in case you haven't seen this, I don't want to overwhelm you with just make a whole bunch of these things and you don't know what they necessarily do. So let's let this unfold. But the other thing is we're going to need, from RF Tools, we're going to need the it's the liquid monitor, right? There it is. So we're going to definitely need this. And we have machine frames. I think we have everything. Yes, we do. And then now we're also going to need some sort of lava. So let's make a drum. Now there's 3 kinds of drums that we have access to. So we've got the stone drum. That one holds 16 buckets. Recipe is fairly straightforward. Then we have the iron drum. I think this guy holds something crazy like 256. No, it's even more than that. Yeah, it might be just 256 buckets. So crazy amount of liquid, and that's pretty straightforward to make. Then you've got the gold, and it's something like 4,096. It's just a little bit harder, and sure, why not? Let's go ahead and make that. But the last one is this guy here. Now, this Klein flask has never had a recipe before, but now it finally does. So that's really cool. We now have the ability to make the Klein flask, the reinforced large drum. That would be just 2 of those. But these demon ingots, I don't know how to make those. So yeah, and Extra Utilities doesn't quite have a book. So I don't know how to make that. If any of you guys know how to make that, I would appreciate either a comment or, you can tweet me or many other ways to get in touch with me. But let me know. Let me know. I'd love to know that. Oh yeah, I gotta make these guys. Let's make 2 of those, and then I have to make a regular drum, which I'm probably gonna need these guys. Make 2 of those, and a cauldron. I doubt I have on me. So yeah, let's make this here real good, and we should have everything now to make our large drum. So let's take a look down here. We'll go back behind here, and remember this guy back here, this great big old 960 buckets in here. Now, in previous versions, you should be able to just dump this in here, and it would fill up. I can't do that now. Don't know why that is, but they must have removed that ability to add drums in here. So I have already pre-placed, let me grab one of these guys. I've already pre-placed a tank fluid outlet. And what that's going to allow us to do is we'll just pop that on there, and let's pop the drum down here. And we will configure this to insert and extract. All we have to do is that, and that will dump a whole bunch of liquid in there. And we can watch in here. 4,096 buckets. Crazy, huh? That is a pretty nice large size inventory, for liquid. And you can see this guy's going down now. And our system over here is cranking away, and it's just refilling us up. And in case you guys were wondering, I've showed you this many times, but yeah, we are cranking on the lava. Is it impacting my LP? Heck no. LP is fully stocked. We're all good. So no problem there. So we'll let this guy fill up a little bit. I don't need a ton of lava for this, but there we go. So we have 84 buckets. That might be enough, huh? Let's get an even 100 buckets, and that should be good enough. There we go. Okay, so we'll leave that right there. This guy will automatically fill up. Love our automation. Now, I have been busy. I've been busy because I've made this little room in here. This room is animated. It's pretty neat. All of these walls are all chisels and bits. And you can see there's the dark psi metal, in case you were wondering what block that is, with a chiseling over the top of it. And then this here is the paper wall chisel. That's the rest of it. So paper wall, pretty easy to make. It's just from chisel. I thought it'd be kind of a fun room. Anyway, let's get down to it. So the first thing we want to do is we need a smelter. Now, the smelter takes in lava, and no matter what I tried, I couldn't get this to go any higher. Now, I've already brought power down here. I brought power over here because we're going to have two different components to this. So let's just kind of throw this down. I need a tank here, and that's what the lava is going to go into. In fact, let me move this over. Let's do it. Yeah, let's move it like right here. We might have to readjust this, but we're going to need some lava in there. That's going to go there, right? And then the smelter goes on top of it. So if I were to take a bucket, and where's my buckets? There they are, up there. I just need one for right now. And we can take a bucket off of here and put a bucket in there. And that has 1 millibucket, or sorry, 1,000 millibuckets, 1 bucket out of 16. And this guy needs to be in between 40 and 60% of this tank here. So that means anywhere from about 6,000 to 9,000. That's about the range it needs to be in. And then of course which I don't have right now, we would throw our resonating ore in here. And for a full crystal, it is 30. That's what what it works out to be. And so I can put that in here and it would start working when I give it power, but we don't want to do that yet because we need to have exactly 8 buckets. Well, I shouldn't say 8 exactly. We need to have between that 40 and 60. So we can do something clever with that, and we can put this guy down, and I'm going to need my wrench to rotate that guy. Oh, I already had it in my inventory. And so we're going to want to rotate that till that gets our redstone output to right here. Now I forgot, this doesn't need power, but we're going to tell it to watch this tank right over here. And we're going to say when it's less than, give me back to that, when it's less than, I like 44%, then it sets off a redstone signal. And that will, when we use a fluid conduit, let's grab another fluid conduit out of here, that will send us liquid into here. Now, this won't connect yet, so what we need to do is we need to right-click on this, and that is input. Blue is input. If I were to set this to orange, it's output. This is off, input, output. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to make sure this is redstone controlled, and just to be safe, we're going to say insert on this one, and on this one, redstone controlled extract. All right, so it's going to extract from this drum, has 100 buckets in there. It's going to put it in here, and look at that, it's already worked. So this guy's already working. It already filled us up to 8,000, and that's why I like that 44%. Now, there's carryover, so you can't quite do 50%. Otherwise, it'd get you up even higher, and it gets a little too dangerously close for me. So I like this to be right at 44. You could go 45, 46. Doesn't really matter that much. Now, when we put this stuff in here and supply it with power, it will start generating us crystals. Pretty straightforward. Well, I'm sorry. I believe it's called RCL. And let's bring this over here. And we might have to redo this wiring a bit and see how we eventually want this right there. All right, so now that's getting power, and that should start cooking up any second. Once it wants to go. Oh, I know why. Duh. I am such a goofball. You need another tank for it to output it. It won't start until you start. Okay, there we go. So we put this tank here on the side. Most people always put it on the top. I'm going to put it on the side. Pretty cool. So now we're generating liquid. Let's wait for our first one. There we go. We've got a quality. Let me move it there so you can read it. We've got a quality of 100%, really low purity and strength. That's okay. We'll do something about that. Now, right away, we can use this purifier. We can bring up the purity on it, which is only at 10%. So we want to actually do purification. So let's put that guy right there. And we're going to, this does not need any power, but as soon as I put this filter material in, it'll start purifying this, but it's going to start spitting it out. So let's just grab a chest. We'll grab this chest here, and we can place this on the back side. Oops, right there. So that now, when we place these guys in here, it'll start purifying this. Wait for it. There we go. Purity is 14.2. And so it's used up one of these guys and thrown it into an adjacent chest. Now it doesn't seem to work above. It has to be on one of the sides. So we couldn't put it on the top, which is unfortunate. I kind of wanted that just for aesthetic purposes, but no big deal. Okay, now underneath that is wide open now. So I could actually add another purifier here. I could add another purifier back here and speed this process up. But frankly, I like compact builds, and we don't necessarily need it a lot. But that's working. It's filling up here, and I'm purifying all in the same tank. That's huge, guys. That's huge. You don't need 7 different tanks to do each of these steps. You can do it all in one step. And you know what? Frankly, we're going to increase the strength and efficiency in this one tank. You only need one tank to do pretty much everything. You do have to have a separate tank for lava, of course, but this RCL is kind of all in one. Now, the next thing we want to do is we would like to, let's go back upstairs. We'll go to our refined storage, and so let's look up our. Hey, why didn't that work? At deep. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we're going to want to purify this, and that's going to require an infusing laser and a lens. And so the lens, pretty straightforward. Let's see if we have any glass panes. Not quite enough, so let's do a recipe for that. Grab some of those. We're doing the lens first, and remember these resonating plates. We saw how to get that. That's just smelting them. And so we grab one lens, and we want this infusing laser. Just uses a machine frame. And there we go. Still got an extra tank left. Let's go down here. All right, so this guy here, I'm actually going to need a block. I don't want to confuse you guys by doing that. Let's just do let's do some stone here. Grab just a stack of that in here. Now, the way this works is, get this out of here. All kinds of things happening with my inventory. Okay, the way this works is you place a lens anywhere on here. So I'm going to place a lens right here. And now this takes up this block here. Okay, the lens is officially in this block. You need to leave one block space, and then the next one goes right here. So I'm going to place that here, and I'm going to put this facing this way. So now it fires into that lens. And so we'll have to bring our power over here. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. And how do I want to do that? I think I might just come over on top like this because I don't want to impact walking. It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to come down straight on this, and we'll probably move this a little bit. You know what? In fact, I think I do want to move this. Let's do that. Let's move this. I don't quite like that blocking the door. I haven't actually done a dry run on this to see what it looks like. Boy, these Ender IO conduits do have quite a bit of lag on them. Redrawing and repainting and such. So can I get that off? There we go. And let's try this again. I'm going to need all of these. My goodness. There we go. Let's try doing it from the front. All right, so this block is taken up. This block needs to be empty, so it's this block right here. And so we will place that down. And then from this direction, we place that. Good. Okay, now I can run my power over here. And down. Come on. There. Okay, so now that gets power. Excellent, excellent. And so we're going to blast it in this way. And then let's go get, let's see, what do I want? What do I want? I'm going to need, actually I can do it all from right here. So we want to get some of those crystals. So let's grab some. It doesn't really matter which one because we're not going to use any of these. And we'll grab maybe 3 of them. So let's go ahead and put one in here, and it turns it into this stuff over here. And so we will do this a couple of times. Just eats them all up, and that's exactly why we wanted those. Now, let's take a look at our progression here. We're at purity 65. We're getting close to being empty. That's why I did that. And we look over here. We've got the spent filter material. And while I'm kind of waiting, you can do all kinds of good stuff with it. You can make dense obsidian with just obsidian in these guys. You can make dense glass, which we're going to be doing as well. Yeah, that's it. I guess. Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking the suit that you can make, the radiation suit, use those, but it doesn't. It uses those smelted down ores. Okay, so we're slowly building our way up here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here and come back when it fills up. And we have reached 85% purity. Pretty cool. Now, you notice all the wiring's gone. Hey, where'd it go? That's because I took the time to make one of these wireless RF transmitters. I totally forgot we had these in the pack. Well, I have them in the pack because I updated the RF tools, or no, sorry, extra utilities. Extra utilities finally fixed some of the bugs. Things like those, oh God, what are they called? Gosh, why do I always draw blanks on the names of these things? You know, the filter, that we used out of the Blood Magic, the one that injected one stone at a time. Those guys had bugs with them all the time, and we're constantly having to make extras and replace them and so on. But so I updated that when they finally got a new version of Extra Utilities. But one of the things it added was this wireless RF transmitter. And so all I have to do is I just put it on a block that needs power, and you can see it's serving pretty much all the blocks that need power. It's serving 7 different tiles, including these redstone conduits. So now all those guys are getting power, and I don't have to run ugly wires around. Now it does a maximum of 80 RF per tick, so I don't think it says in Wayla what that is, but yeah, I just happen to know it does 80 RF per tick. And up in my base, which is, go here, I just placed this guy here, wireless RF battery, and that's pretty straightforward to. Let's see, at extra utils and then wireless. And so this guy is pretty straightforward. It's just this stone burn. I had a couple extra, but then I had to go make some extra stone burn for this because it needs 6 more for that. Some blocks of redstone and just a resonant crystal. Very simple to make, very convenient, very handy. Love it. Let's go down to our reactor and then head on over here. So now that we've got this 85% purity, we'll want to start using the infusing laser. It's got laser, it's got power here. We've got the crystals put in there. And so let's do something like emerald. And so I'm going to grab, I don't know, grab a half a stack of that and nether stars. Let's grab a few of those. Now, each one of these has different capabilities of modifying the strength and efficiency and purity. Short answer is that nether stars increase the strength and efficiency. The emerald brings up the purity. Now our purity is already at 85, but the problem is that the nether stars drop our purity. This brings it back up. So really all we need to do is, and of course this would bring it up as well. Good, we finally used that last one. So what I'll end up doing is I will put these guys in here, and I think I'm only going to need a few of these. So let's just start with, well, we'll start with 1 for right now. And in order to get this guy to run, I of course have to give it a redstone signal. So we will do that. We'll put this on. Now, are you ready? Let's watch it. Shoom. And it was that quick. And look, it brought the strength up to 17.5. So let's go ahead and add 4 of these guys. Put those in there, and let's watch what the strength and efficiency does. But notice the purity is going down. Now, how this works out is the quality we want to be at 100%. That's dictated by keeping this between 40 and 60%. That's purely related to quality. If you don't have 100% quality, you can't get 100% in the rest of them. So let's say you had 90% quality. The maximum you could get of purity, strength, and efficiency would be 90%. So notice how our purity went down, but now it's going back up because the purifier is doing its job. But our strength and efficiency is up. And I'm purposely kind of going slow here so that the purity has a chance to recover because that will, the nether stars drop it down. But let's go ahead and add a few more. Well, let's add 8 more. Let's see how well we do. And notice our purity is getting lower. If it goes down to 0 purity, you will lose liquid. So that's good enough. Let's turn that off. All right, so we got down to 34%. Not too bad, but we're at strength and efficiency of 100%. So that's pretty cool. We're done with this. And I think that, well, that we had 64. It took 12 total. Might have only needed 11, but 12 to be safe. And then we're going to use some emerald. But I'm going to let these guys do its job first. And so one more cut while this works, and we'll come back. And there we go, 85.1. So let's put some emeralds in here and see what we get. So the purifier and these filter materials can only get it up to 85% purity. However, the emeralds will now get us all the way up to 100%. So let's give this a moment here. We're at 92%, and it will actually slow down a bit because it's a percentage. And let's see, if we look at the manual, I don't think they've added it to the manual what the percentages are yet. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be, but that's all cool. So see, 85%, that's as high as you can do with the standard one, but we can add the modifiers. Now there's plenty of places. There we go, 100%. Let's try to capture it. So we had 32. That's roughly 22, 23 emeralds. So not too much at all. At this end game, it's no sweat off my back. But in case off my back, in case you were thinking about doing this earlier game, you can plan accordingly. Obviously, there's other ways to do this. There's plenty of places out on the internet that have you can look up the stats on what it takes to yeah. I thought it was in here in the manual. Purity, strength, efficiency. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So that's about all I want to do for this episode. The next time, so now we have our liquid in here. We have 100, 100, 100, 100%. The next episode, we're going to come back and turn that into a crystal, and then maybe do something with power generation. So in the meantime, I'm going to, I'm going to work on making myself a crystallizer. Where is it? Right there. And we will get done with that and come back in the next episode and work on making a crystal. So in the meantime, guys, have a good one, and we will talk to you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I would appreciate a like right down there. Right down there. Yeah, over there in the right-hand side. There's a little like button. And if you're new to the series, leave a subscribe. Or subscribe to my channel. I got good stuff coming out. I've got a couple of different series going on right now. You might be surprised, learn some things. As you can see here, we have a 3x2 setup, if you don't count the infusing laser, 3x2 setup just to create the crystals so far. I think that's really cool. I think that's awesome and efficient and awesome. So guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye!